It's just a clap. It's a clap. You don't need to clap.
Oh, the clap.
You look like clap. Go on. Okay, you clapped as well.
I feel included now.
Good. Good. You're part of the magic.
Oof.
Can I clap?
You can clap if you want.
Yay!
Good. We've all clapped.
Cool.
Don't you clap first?
You see, I was going to go with we're all in this together, and then realised that was even worse.
I don't
But it
I don't
fits
understand the
onto
reference.
it.
I don't know the reference.
Oh, we're on it. We are on topic now.
Okay, so everybody, this is the I've Never podcast. I'm Nearly. This is Lev-Ell Up, Lovell, and joining us is sometimes guest Bunneh because they're not always here, so
Hello.
they'll be here every so often. We record this every Sunday. I don't know when it's actually going to come out yet because
No idea.
this is the inaugural podcast. So the reason that we've got this and the reason why it's called I've Never is because originally it was going to be I've Never Played, where I was going to go through games that I've played that Ben hasn't played, but I was...
Which is a lot.
There's quite a few.
But then we realised that I don't watch films, and I've
Yeah.
not seen a lot of films, so it's kind
And
of
TV shows as well.
And TV shows. I don't consume media that way.
Yeah.
I guess it's the ways of way. It sounds really pretentious, but it doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't
I
I don't consume media that way. I just sit in a corner smoking cigars and reading my newspaper in the silent room where we all know the special sign language that doesn't exist anywhere else.
What is a Vin Diesel and why does he continue?
Does he go in my car?
He goes in every car, that's the premise.
Why is he fast and or furious? Proceeding quickly, no.
Welcome to the British broadcast of Why Do Film.
So we thought for the inaugural podcast, we'd firstly go through kind of, I don't know where you got to your list. Is it Rotten Tomatoes? Or is it
This is the IMDb. I mean, it's 250, but it's hard to go through all that. But it's the user-rated films of all time.
Okay.
As the most popular.
So we're going to start with going through all of the films that are on this list that Ben has seen, but perhaps we haven't seen. And also some that Bunneh's seen as well that I haven't seen, and again vice versa, because I know there's a few that I've seen that Ben hasn't seen.
Yeah, there's quite a few on here. I mean, I've got a feeling when we were talking about it earlier, and I started getting increasingly angry. First on the list, I don't think you've seen Shawshank Redemption.
I've never seen the Shawshank Redemption.
The rage, I just can't believe. It's like, there's a reason Morgan Freeman should narrate everything ever, and it is that film.
Yeah, it's because of what's that film called?
Bruce
Almighty.
No, I was going to say, if you say Bruce Almighty, like, you cannot, in a conversation about Morgan Freeman, I'd rather you had Now You See Me as a reference of what Morgan Freeman can do in a film.
I mean, there's also a sequel.
We don't talk about that.
There's Wanted as well. Or Evan Almighty.
Yeah.
No, Now You See... Okay, I don't know what's the worst sequel. Now You See Me 2 or Evan Almighty.
I've seen Evan Almighty. I watched Bruce Almighty as well. I like Evan Almighty.
No.
That's because I like the actor that I can't remember the name of currently.
Steve Carell.
Yeah, I really like Steve.
Oh yeah, he's really good. Like, my first experience of him was on 40-Year-Old Virgin.
I love the fact that
Just
we've
so
gone
funny.
from the Shawshank Redemption
The 40-Year-Old
Virgin.
I mean, this is going to be our general trend. I mean, we're going to get onto like something random. I dread to think, to be fair, but no, Shawshank Redemption is just a classic film. It's like everyone has to say it's amazing. Yeah,
I think it's probably going to be episode 2. Where I've seen it and I can actually talk about it fully. I mean, Bunneh's probably seen it anyway.
I've seen it. I highly recommend it for anybody who might be doing time to give a gist of just their options. Basically.
Yeah. I swear to God, though.
I don't want to give spoilers.
Yeah, and I don't want to, it's set in a prison, as I think that part we can say. But I swear to God, if we get to episode 2 and you go, yeah, it was alright, I mean, it was no Evan Almighty, I think that you and I are going to have a big argument.
I'll note that.
Second, I think you've seen Godfather?
Never seen The Godfather.
You've not seen Godfather?
Never seen The Godfather.
Oh my God. Bun, please tell me you've seen Godfather.
I think so.
Oh,
I can't remember.
If I think so is the answer, and it's about The Godfather, you haven't seen it. Like,
no, I just have memory issues, dude.
True, but like it's like literally. Like,
I've heard it's incredibly long, and I've heard that means that some people can't actually keep attention to it.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Isn't it split into multiple parts as well?
You've got Godfather Part 2, Part 3, but like. It's a bit like, I know some people when they watch it was like watching The Irishman, you have to watch it in sections, but I'm one of those people...
I watched it in one run.
Yeah, exactly. If I enjoy a film, I have to watch it to the end, straight through.
So it's like a...
It's very long.
It's a mafia opera.
Yeah, it's the original, it's considered the best.
Okay.
Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, I think?
Yeah,
Marlon
Brando.
Yeah.
I know Brando.
That took me a moment. But yeah, it's all about like this old gangster and... like his control of it all and everything. It's just, if you've seen any gangster film ever, it probably owes itself to Godfather.
Yeah.
I thought it was about a guy that just offers like ponies to people, like offering people,
I heard that.
making them offers they can't refuse. I wouldn't refuse a pony.
For those of you that can't see this, I'm squinting very hard and very angrily right now. I'm going to move on. Okay, we have
and you wouldn't have seen that. What happened there was when he put his hand on Ben's leg so to console him, Ben then brushed his hand off and then brushed it dust. Brushed it dust off. It's like filth.
In my defence, it's my bad knee. So that's my reason, I swear. It's not part of the Irish or something.
Wow, we're getting racial then.
We're getting there. Well, okay, the third one I know we have a safe bet. I'm happy about this. It's good. I'm surprised it's as high as it is, personally. I love the film, but The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger.
Yeah, I've seen The Dark Knight.
I think it's a very good film. I think it's one of the better superhero films of that kind of genre. Personally, I don't think I would put it as high as it is. Oh,
but
Bunneh's
it's
turned
turning
away.
around.
I'm about to get really angry, aren't
Bunneh,
I?
have you not seen The Dark Knight?
You've seen Joker, but you haven't seen Dark Knight.
Of course I've seen The Dark Knight.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god,
Oh.
don't do that to me.
Okay, we were nearly one person down after getting beaten to death. Oh my god. I will say though, it is in list of some of my favourite openings to films of all time. So, for me, I love when a film's opening scene is so iconic. Yeah, you've got the score, the story of it. Like, it just tells you everything you need to know about the way this Joker's going to be. It reminds me of stuff like Baby Driver has got one of my favourite opening scenes of all time.
Yeah.
Without a single spoken word. It just is a perfect opening.
Anything with Edgar Wright is usually perfect.
That is very true. That is very, very true. But yeah, I'm one for... I love a really good opening scene to a film because it just engages you, brings you into it, and then... It doesn't even matter if it hits you like with a twist later on. It's just if it gets you in the film, it cuts you out of the reality, as it were. I think it's so important. And Dark Knight, I think, is one of the best films for doing that. Yeah, obviously a shame with what happened, and he was cast to be in the third one.
Yeah.
He was going to be... So in Dark Knight Rises, where you've got Scarecrow as the judge,
Yeah.
it was going to be Heath Ledger, and he was going to have an extended part, but unfortunately, obviously, more tragedy happened in the real world.
Did you ever see that they actually showed where he was where he was? Because he was still locked up in Arkham. Was the whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole point was that he was still locked up and he couldn't. He was the only person who didn't get to escape.
Yeah, I think they did it as a whole. They knew it wasn't safe to let him out, kind of thing. Because Bane is one of the smarter Batman villains.
Yeah.
As long as you just ignore the monstrosity that was that 2002 film.
I think they've done that a lot in a lot of their different series and stuff, where like, there's a breakout and the criminals kind of look in on a Joker style and just kind of laugh, and it's like, no, we're not going to go that crazy.
I don't want to break the world down.
Continue on.
To be fair though, I love the just segueing a little bit, but the trivia of what the Joker's afraid of. Have you seen that episode of the Batman animated series?
No.
So it's one of Mark Hamill's most famous lines. It's one of his most favourite ones he's ever said. Was, "I'm happy to face Batman, but the IRS, no thank you." Because he has to declare all the money he's stolen for taxes. They got Capone, they'll get Joker.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a really famous line of Hamill's that he absolutely adores. But that was just the Joker.
Hamill's a fantastic Joker. I think he would make a very good live action one, but an older Joker.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that because he's obviously getting on in age now.
Yeah,
and he was fantastic in the new Star Wars films.
If they ever did a live action Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, they
you
did.
could play that Joker.
They did Kevin Conroy in the Crisis on Infinite Earth series.
Did, yeah.
Personally, I'm not happy with what version of Bruce Lee went with, but
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I'm not going to give spoilers, so I know you intend to watch it, but he did the performance very well.
It's just things falling off the door.
Technical
distraction. So we had a massive segue there into DC because of The Dark Knight. We should definitely, I think, have a DC episode.
Oh, dear God,
even
yes.
if it's not just something that we haven't seen, we should definitely just talk about DC.
Because then we talk about games as well.
It's such a good topic,
Yeah.
and I'm 100% down for that. I'm pretty sure everybody listening would be down for that as well. So what's at number 4?
I know what the answer to this one's going to be. Godfather Part 2.
No, I've not seen that.
I think we covered my angle on this already. Part 2, in my opinion, not as good as the first one, but still very good. And then in 5th we have Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Very
I
good
don't
film.
remember that one.
The last one.
The last part.
You know, like the last big battle.
I don't think it engaged me as much.
No, I actually prefer Two Towers. Battle of Helm's Deep to me was a lot more to it.
Yeah.
And also, like, something a lot of people complain about, and I get it, but I get why they had to do it, was the ending. Like, Return of the King and Endgame both had a lot of resolve scenes after it all finished.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Return of the King, even if you don't watch the extended version, there's about 40 minutes of content after the film's technically finished.
Yeah.
And a lot of people complained about it. I remember watching it when I was a kid, my mum in the cinema, I dragged her so I could go see it. And the battle finished. And she went, I think we're done now. Because she'd been sat there for about 2.5 hours. And then I just look at her and think, no, we're not. And then it gets to like when they're getting on the boat, she goes, can I just get on the boat? I'm busting for a wee. But yeah, good film, but I disagree. But it's a film that should be seen. Like, all 6 films should be watched.
Yeah.
The Hobbit series and obviously the Lord of the Rings series as well.
And the extended versions, if you have time.
Yeah. If you have, I would recommend watching them because they have more content from the books. They actually show Saruman, spoiler alert, his death in the 3rd one, which they cut in the theatrical release, which was a shame because Christopher Lee is just a phenomenal actor.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And there was this. Do you know the story of his death scene in Lord of the Rings?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I love this.
Oh yeah, so he's didn't he? Was he trying to be directed on how to be stabbed? How to be stabbed?
How it sounds like for a man.
And what it sounds like for a man to die, and Christopher Lee was just like, "I've been in the war."
Yeah,
kind of
you don't need to teach me. I've experienced it, and they all went.
How it sounds.
And it was like, oh, okay then. But yeah, no, that was great film. Personally, I wouldn't put it in top 10. I'd put it as something you have to watch, but 5th of all time, 6th place, I can see it being up there. Yeah, Pulp Fiction.
Never seen it.
Oh, so good.
Never seen it. I know facts about it. I know a lot about the film, but I've never seen it. So none of those things.
Does he look like a bitch?
Yeah, I know a lot of things kind of surrounding films. I know a lot about films. Some films I've just never watched, and Pulp Fiction is one of those films. Yeah, it's just something I need to watch.
It's a great film. I mean, the cast on it is just a who's who. I mean, it's one of obviously a Quentin Tarantino film. I think it's one of his early ones. It's not his first. I think it's like his second. Or it's either that or his directorial debut because he wrote a couple of films before he directed. Yeah. But you've got John Travolta, Uma Thurman, Samuel L. Jackson, and Bruce Willis as the top credited.
Yeah. Like
the scenes of John Travolta and Uma Thurman are incredible. The famous scene in the kitchen area with Samuel Jackson and John Travolta is just... and in the car as well. They have a discussion about Burger King for about 5 minutes, and it's iconic cinema.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible. And if you haven't seen it, there's a series on YouTube by... I always forget his name. The guy that voiced Pinky in Pinky and the Brain.
Oh. You know exactly who voiced Pinky and the Brain.
Thank you, Rob Paulson. He runs a podcast with other voice actors, and one of the segments is they voice famous things. So he did a scene with Seth Green, who voices Chris Griffin, of Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi from episode 3. But he did an episode where they covered the Royale discussion, and you just had Pinky discussing the Whopper and the Royale, and it was incredible. Talking Tunes, that's the one, yeah. And it's such a funny podcast. It's very good. But yeah, that's what it reminds me of. But now whenever I hear the Whopper Royale, the Royale with cheese and quarter pounder with cheese, I always think of Rob Paulson now.
Well, Tarantino's the king of dialogue. That's what they call him.
Yeah, he is.
I'm just getting that from the epic rap battles of history. Rap.
No, he is very good. Like, you always know you're watching a Tarantino film. Even like afterwards, you'll go, yeah, that was definitely a Tarantino film.
Always.
Personally, I wish I didn't see as much feet as he's into, but that's his own personal creative decision. For those that haven't seen Dusk Till Dawn,
or any Tarantino.
No. Dusk Till Dawn's not a Tarantino film. He stars in it. He's in the main. Have you? Okay.
I have seen From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, okay, brilliant.
I will say I have seen that. I was far too young to watch it.
Oh yeah. The great thing about no one's ever ready to watch that film because, in my opinion, like yes, you have your M. Night Shyamalan twists, you have your turns, the missed great twist in that. But the twist of Dusk Till Dawn is, okay, George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino are gangsters, they're on the run, cool, they get into Mexico, cool, let's see how this goes. What the fuck, why are there loads of vampires? Just out of nowhere.
They made a series.
They made
Netflix series.
They made like 2 or 3 film sequels that neither of them were in, and a Netflix series. I've never bothered to watch them.
No. But it's the same characters in the Netflix series. It's all about them getting to...
Yeah, but it's not them. So to me, like I'm one for like typecasting. Once someone's played it, it's very difficult for me to switch. Like, I think the only exception to that was Spartacus, where...
Harry Potter?
Oh, it ruined it for me.
Really?
Michael Gambon is not Dumbledore. Did you bring your name in the goblet of fire? Like, I'm sorry. Gambon, phenomenal actor. Horrible situation. No one could ever be as good as he was. But the problem is, he clearly didn't read the fucking source material.
I haven't seen the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, we kept starting and we never finished.
No, we keep getting you to try and
watch
watch
them. We got to like the first...
Because they're so bloody long and there's so many of them.
There's 8 of them.
Exactly.
I gave you the books as well.
The books are great. I need to read
I'm still trying to read a book for 3 years now.
Yeah, I know.
It's not that big.
But yeah, no, like, it's a very difficult thing for me. Like, if someone's been recast, like, an exception for me would be something like Spartacus, where, unfortunately, I don't think you've seen Spartacus. So Spartacus is about the tale of Spartacus. Mm-hmm. And the casting of him was incredible. Season 1, great season. Then, unfortunately, he fell ill to, I think it was a type of cancer or type of leukemia, something like that. Mm-hmm. So what they did was, they weren't sure what was going to happen to him, so they did a prequel series for Season 2, which was set before, basically, how all the other characters got to where they were at before he joined.
Yeah.
And then he unfortunately passed away, so for seasons, technically 2 and 3, but it was 3 and 4, they did recast him. And the guy was very good, great series, really enjoyed it. It never really was the same, but they did what they could with it.
Yeah.
But it made Manu Bennett very famous as well, who later on went on to be, Deathstroke and like other stuff in the Arrowverse.
Right.
Yeah, there we go.
I know, because there's going to be Deathstroke in Titans, which I haven't watched Season 2 yet.
Yes, he is in Season 2.
We'll end up talking about that during our DC.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Well, it's not really. It's literally the splash art.
Yeah.
It's a picture of it.
I haven't seen Season 2 yet. I've heard mixed feedback. I need to watch it. Season 1 was okay.
Is it Season 3 or so?
No, it's just Season 2 seasons. 2's just been put on it. Basically, because of licensing with America and Europe, they air all of it on the American cable site, and then what they do is they give it to Netflix in one go after they've had sufficient time to air it over there.
Okay.
So we've gone from Pulp Fiction to Dusk Till Dawn.
Yep.
Then we went to...
Via Harry Potter.
And then we went Harry Potter.
Spartacus. And then Titans.
Yeah.
I'm liking the flow that we've got. I mean, we're only up to number 6. 7, I know we discussed this one before.
You think of one movie and you just go into 5
others. Yeah, well you do, because they're all
because everything links. And, although I don't watch films, there are films that I have seen that I can link things very easily to. And what's at number...
Number 7 is Schindler's List.
I have seen Schindler's List.
Absolute masterpiece.
It was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, it kind of made the career of... What's
Liam
his
Neeson.
name? Liam Neeson was in it. Ralph Fiennes.
Oh, yeah.
Also in it.
He was phenomenal. He played one of the German generals, I think it was, who ran a concentration camp. And it was just a masterpiece film. It's one of those that you watch once. I think you have to see it twice, in all honesty, because it's a very long film. It's like about 3.5 hours long. But it's just an absolute... Like, Spielberg just smashes it out of the park, as he does. Like, Liam Neeson just delivers. It's very intelligently written. Yeah. Like, this isn't really... The opening scene is at a party of Nazi soldiers and like leaders and stuff. And there's just this one random guy who's there who no one knows, and they're all like talking to each other like, who is this guy? Why is he here? And then one by one of them goes over and he just buys them drinks, and then within about an hour he's like, well like not in real time but in the time of the film, and it's about 10 minutes in real time, he's the leader of the part, like the whole party that's going on. He's just like the life and soul of it. Everyone loves him, thinks he's great, and he's in with everyone that matters in German like politics at that point.
Yeah.
Just by getting them drunk.
Yeah.
But it's how he does it is so intelligent. Yeah, it's a phenomenal film.
Have you seen it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
It would have been a long time ago.
It's quite, and the ending's very sad and very tragic, but he did a lot.
He loses the list?
No.
No.
It's the list is basically a list of people whose lives he saves just by remembering their names.
Yeah.
And it's quite tragic actually, because he ends up in the film, and I don't know, to my shame, I don't know much more afterwards, but he saved, based on generations and stuff, and obviously people that have then had children, like 4 million people.
Yeah.
But he actually got depressed he didn't save more, because like in the final scene, it's horrible. He's like literally realising how much money he's wasted over the years, how many lives he could have saved. And he starts off as a very selfish businessman.
Yeah.
But it's his evolution because of war and everything like that, realising what matters. And it's a true story as well, and
yeah,
absolutely incredible.
So, segueing away from the Holocaust.
Yes! Going into 8th place, I've not seen this.
Oh, what is it?
12 Angry Men, 1957.
I haven't seen that either.
I don't know what it is.
I think I have, but I don't remember.
Let's have a look. It's
It would have
E-rated.
been a good, probably 15 years ago since I would have watched it, though.
Yeah. The jury hold out attempts to prevent a miscarriage of justice by forcing his colleagues to weeks to the evidence. So it's, so it's like a, it's all based on, all the cast are jurors, so, no, I've not seen this.
I think that's something that we'll have to pick up on.
Yeah, 1957. Oh, it's based off a play. Okay. That's cool. 9th, Inception.
I've seen it.
Yeah, phenomenal.
I think we've all seen
Oh,
it.
Yep. Okay. Where?
I've rewatched
Final
it
scene.
recently.
Final scene. Is he dreaming or is he awake?
No, he's acting.
No. Wow.
I think we could just leave that there. I think we'll have an entire episode on just talking about Inception. Cause although, again, it's a film we've all seen, and this is the I've Never podcast.
It's true. Yeah, we need to move on from it.
I think we should definitely...
it's a phenomenal film.
It is a phenomenal film.
Fight Club. Fight Club would end very quickly.
Do we need to talk about Fight Club?
No.
We're not allowed to talk
It's
about
like rule number 1.
Yeah, have we all seen it though?
No, we're not going to talk about Fight Club.
No, it's
So
rule
what's
one.
the next item on the list?
Another Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. Why is Two Towers? Okay, Two Towers, spoiler alert, we're at number 11. Two Towers is at 14. That's BS, it should go Two Towers, Fellowship, Return of the King.
Spoilers.
Fight me.
Well, no, it's not like the machete order.
No, this is a viewing order. This is a viewing order,
Spoilers
honestly.
to the left.
Yeah. But no, this is in, like, quality. Two Towers is the best one.
I've got
by a mile.
Actually, mentioning machete order, something I really want to talk about at some point. I mean, not this time.
It's every film he's been in.
Where is the machete order with all the new Star Wars movies?
All of the new Star Wars movies are right at the end.
Yeah.
Because it's the...
It's the culmination.
Yeah, because the way the machete
six.
order works is you get the start of Luke's story, you get the introduction of Darth Vader, and then you get Darth Vader's story, and then it continues.
We need to have an episode where I rant for about 20 minutes about how good the original script was that got ditched for episode 9. Even the name was better.
We'll have a Star Wars episode.
Yeah, it's needed, because I read the script and was just like, what? Why did we not get this? This is bullshit. Those who haven't seen the leak of the original scriptwriter, it's true. And I'm very sad. 12th place, Forrest Gump.
I've seen Forrest Gump.
Oh.
If people haven't seen Forrest Gump...
Jenny.
I love you, Jenny. It's just such a good film. It's amazing. And it's just feel good. Yep, love it. I forgot Sally Field wasn't that, Jesus. The Good, the Bad and the Ugly.
Never
Yeah.
seen it.
I don't think I've seen that either.
What?
I'm not a spaghetti western fan.
It's
that I do enjoy them. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
love westerns, but I
I'm not a massive. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a massive Western fan, but it's like the Godfather to gangster films, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is quintessential Clint Eastwood. It's as good as it can be. I think it's incredible. Don't get me wrong. I'm far from the most knowledgeable of Western films, and I'm pretty sure I'm somewhere my dad's having an aneurysm right now. that I've betrayed him because he probably could think of 20 others that are better.
My grandfather's spinning in his grave.
Yeah.
He's a massive fan.
Yeah, my dad loves Western films and all that, like Zulu and stuff. He loves all of those sort of films. But Good, Bad, and the Ugly is incredible. Obviously, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, we mentioned it earlier. 15th, why is this not higher? The Matrix.
I love The Matrix.
The Matrix is incredible. We all went to the 20th anniversary screening.
I've never seen The Matrix.
You have? You went to...
You literally went
This
to
phone. This wired microphone will end up inserted somewhere. And you'll be jacked into the Matrix then. And you'll need more than the blue pill to get it out.
No, there's a lot that I could say with LGBT references in the Matrix films by the Wachowski siblings, who both are transgender and both have transitioned.
It's Lana and Lily, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're back for the fourth one. I'm very concerned about it, purely because Hugo Weaving was going to be in it, and now he can't be. And I just don't see how you can have Neo without Agent Smith.
Well, honestly, I think they're putting him... After what happens all the way through the films, I think bringing Agent Smith back after it was meant to be such a final thing in the third one wouldn't work for me.
I suppose...
I mean, they could just do what Marvel did and recast him.
No.
Because they did recast
They
him.
did. He actually spoke out about that.
Yeah?
Yeah, he had an interview recently. They said, why were you recast? And he said, so originally when he did Captain America 1... the deal he signed was for a multi-film deal with growing pay, so a bit like Robert Downey Jr., like proportion to what he got paid in Endgame, Iron Man 1 paid in pittance. I mean, to us it would be lovely, but
of course.
They then offered him Infinity War and Endgame, and they explained it to him what he'd be doing, and for both films combined, they offered less money than Captain America 1. And came out of future films.
He's not in it enough.
No, but he felt insulted the fact that they'd gone back on their word on one thing and did again. And he said, frankly, I just didn't see from his own input.
A future relationship.
Yeah, he felt like let down by Disney anyway. And fair play to him, he didn't just see an easy paycheck. He just went with what he believed in. And he is an incredible actor.
Oh, 100%.
Like, absolutely love him. Anything he's in, he's incredible.
Always. He is a very, very good actor. What we got next on the list?
Goodfellas.
Never seen it.
You've never seen...
I've never seen Goodfellas.
It's like one of Martin Scorsese's best films.
I've never seen it. I can't. I know that it's a mafia film.
Yep.
Especially because she just said Scorsese.
I watched it recently, so...
Yeah, Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci at their best. Film came out the year I was born, 1990.
Well, Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci is kind of at their best at all kind of mafia movies.
As long as they
them all.
If you put them together, it's always going to be a good film.
What I love though is just realising this: Goodfellas came out the same year as Home Alone 1. And so on Netflix, if you haven't seen it, it's amazing. There's Movies That Made Us or something, like they did it off the Toys one, and it's a 3-episode series. It's Home Alone, Dirty Dancing, and Die Hard. And it's like how the films got made. I haven't watched Dirty Dancing, but I watched the other two. And you know, Joe Pesci does like, I call it the Muttley grumble from Dastardly and Muttley.
Yeah.
He does that. Do you know why he did that?
Why?
Because he couldn't stop swearing because he was used to Goodfellas and his normal style of acting.
So he just
they said, well, you can't do that. It's a kids film. And they kept having wasted takes because he was just going, oh, fuck, oh, no. And then, so what he did was he went, if I mutter words that make no sense, will that be okay? And they went, yeah, we can make that work. So he invented a style of muttering that is basically him swearing, but getting away with it. And I think that's amazing. And yeah, if you watch Irishman, he just swears all the time in it.
I've got a confession to make.
If you say you haven't seen Home Alone, you are getting out that door right now.
I haven't seen Home Alone for The Holiday Heist.
Well done. So, Home Alone 1 and 2 are incredible. Tim Curry just smashes it as his very bit part, but I love it. Donald Trump's in it. I mean, less said.
Well, he was cut out.
Yeah.
He was cut out in the BBC.
BBC cut him out. Yeah. I love it. Home Alone 3 I watched at the cinema as a kid, and it's just terrible. It's just absolutely awful. And it has very unrealistic expectations of how good a remote control car can be, which, like, 6-year-old me was devastated by. Home Alone 4, I watched the first 2 scenes of it, and just went, no. Because they recast everyone from the first film. It's just an absolute car wreck of a film. Basically, if you want to watch Home Alone, watch the first one, watch the second one, and then watch Corridor Crew's R-rated version of Home Alone 1, which is fucking hilarious. Where they just make all the injuries realistic.
What's the next film? I don't think.
Sorry,
it's
yeah,
not even Home Alone.
We are segueing. It's nowhere near.
Home Alone should definitely.
Number 17. Star Wars Episode 5: Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah. I've already seen Star Wars movies.
I mean,
except for the latest one.
Not everyone. Not everyone's seen it. Freddie Mercury hasn't.
Most people. Well, he definitely hasn't now.
Wow.
Jesus Christ, we're cutting that
It's in
out.
a song.
That is getting cut out.
It's lyrics to a Queen song.
No, I was talking about. I thought you were talking about the recent ones.
No, he said number 5. It was
Okay,
a live
fine.
one.
Okay. So quite a funny fact is only one episode of Star Wars was directed by George Lucas, which was New Hope. He then realised he was a bit of a shit director, so he got other people to do it for him, and that's why 5 and 6 are just better.
And what about 1, 2, and 3?
We don't talk about those. We just don't. Although, this is going to trigger anyone who likes Star Wars. In terms of development of, if you look at the 9 films, development of the story and the point of the story, pod racing is more important than 65% of Episode 8.
I can agree with that.
Like, it's actually stupid. Because it shows that Anakin has the Force, he's more important than
episode
normal
was
humans.
really the major problem point is a ship has run out of gas.
Yeah. And they're slowing down in a vacuum.
I actually know exactly why that is. Okay, so some people don't know this, and people who know that know who I am will know who my father is.
Yeah.
Now, something that people don't know about my father is that he has a master's degree in physics.
Yeah.
And he explained that space, although it's a vacuum, isn't actually empty in any way. And the way that the pulse engines would have to work in Star Wars, he explained how a pulse engine works and would work in that universe, is that basically to be able to move forward, it grabs the bit of space that's in front of it and then pulls itself into it rather than it just using its own momentum to go through. And something of that massive scale and size, it doesn't actually have momentum. What it's actually doing is that it's warping the universe around it to be able to move the ship forward.
Okay.
So that's why it requires the energy to be able to do it, and why
Still
you see how it just
film.
lifts off. But yeah,
it spends an hour on the casino planet.
Yeah, but the casino planet is actually a very poignant
It's
point.
not.
It is. The casino planet is the whole thing about the universe is a very, very corrupt place, and regardless of
Oh,
how you
yeah.
think of it, that was the whole point of that. And the other point of that was they also then later on the same planet showed that there was 4 sensitive children on the same place.
Yeah, which they never then go into on episode 9. Spoilers.
I've not seen episode 9.
Yeah, it doesn't get mentioned at all.
No.
It's just bullshit. But episode 5, very good. Do you know what? Because obviously Vader's actor got replaced by James Earl Jones and didn't get told until the premiere of episode 4.
Yeah.
Slightly awkward. But do you know what he originally said in episode 5's recording?
No.
He actually said that Obi-Wan killed Luke's father. Because they didn't want anyone to know that Darth Vader was his dad. Spoilers.
It's like a handshot first thing where it's been retconned.
No. It was actually basically the only people that knew that it was going to be the famous line that we all know was Mark Hamill, James Earl Jones, George Lucas, and the director. That was it. Because they didn't want anyone to know. They wanted it to be a big surprise. So even at the premiere, all the cast went, "Wait, what?" Like it was a massive shock. Because
so if the dubbing was the only thing that...
yeah, they were the only people that knew.
Ah.
The original recording was, no, Obi-Wan killed your father. And if you watch it back, it fits under those conditions as
So
well.
does that mean that Mark Hamill didn't know that he was kissing his character's sister?
Yeah. Oh, no, he knew. He knew. He knew by the point of that recording of that scene.
Right. Okay.
That's why it was all backwards.
Okay.
Which is so messed up. But yeah, because they didn't want anyone to know. And like, apparently there was an interview on Graham Norton with Mark Hamill that Carrie Fisher like lost her shit at the premiere when she saw that scene, just started beating on Mark Hamill saying, "Why didn't you tell me?" And he went, "Because you'd have told everyone."
Oh, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher.
But yeah, episode 5, I'd say it's the best of all of them. Personally, I mean, New Hope is great. I love the storytelling of it, but I feel, in terms of being iconic, episode 5 will always be up there. So I can agree with that order, actually. 18th, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I've seen it, but not years and years ago.
I haven't seen it.
Jack Nicholson, I think?
Yeah, Jack Nicholson. I know the story of it, and I am trying to get through the book. It's difficult reading, but that's just because of the way that it's written.
Yeah.
But it's meant to be a very, very good film, very, very iconic.
Mm.
Who directed it?
Milos Forman. I don't know.
Hmm.
Probably if I saw this, I was like, oh yeah, of course. But 19th, I've not seen. Harakiri. It's a Japanese film about a Ronin.
Harakiri.
Yeah, 1962.
I haven't seen it either, but I think that it's kind of the samurai trope.
Yeah, it is basically. It's about Ronins and seppuku and stuff.
I don't think that it's actually about seppuku, but
It literally is.
oh right,
When a Ronin requests seppuku at a feudal lord's palace.
Oh.
So yeah,
wow.
it's basically the story of a fallen samurai wanting to kill himself. Okay.
I mean, I know Sudoku puzzles can be hard, but
There's probably some kind of racial undertone there that's just completely inappropriate.
Yeah, probably.
Oh dear God. 20th. Oh wow. Okay, so the most recent film on this list so far, Joker. 2019.
Loved it. Absolutely.
Incredible.
we all went to see it
100%.
together.
Yep. Well, we've done 20, so
we're
can call it 20.
doing top 20. I will say that there's one that I want to just talk about before we get onto like games and TV series.
Sure.
Which is Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. I'm very angry.
Which I've seen.
Have you seen the masterpiece, the film that everyone should watch, Silence of the Lambs?
I have.
You fucking liar.
Have you seen Silence of the Lambs?
No.
No.
How have you not seen Silence of the Lambs? It seems like such a you thing to watch.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like something you'd be telling me about.
Anthony Hopkins is just it's just incredible in it. Okay, following on
Explain yourself.
Yeah. I can't even... Is there a reason you haven't, or is it just not found time?
Never found a time.
Would recommend, like, if before you watch any other film, I'd recommend watching that.
We will pick up a Silence of the Lambs episode. Or at least an Anthony Hopkins episode.
I just have to say one thing, though. So, going back onto the point earlier I made about, like, I like to be engrossed in a film. So, Silence of the Lambs, amazing. Hannibal, the sequel, is okay. Not nowhere near its league, but it's a good film.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Red Dragon?
No.
Okay, so Red Dragon was a prequel film with Anthony Hopkins, Edward Norton, and Ralph Fiennes. Okay, so as a cast, incredible. Very good film. It's all about how he gets arrested, where he gets up to in the first case he helps the FBI with. And the characters spawn into the Hannibal TV show, Mads Mikkelsen, which is an incredible TV show I would recommend watching to anybody. However, there is one moment in that film that just shatters my viewing of that film because of when I watched it. So the film came out in, I want to say 2002, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And there's a scene where Ralph Fiennes is running up a flight of stairs and they light it incredibly because it's all about like dark, evil, and he's silhouetted, so you can't see him apart from the rage on his face as he runs up the stairs. The rest of his body is silhouetted. However, he's naked. And as he runs up the stairs, I just have a brief moment where I go, oh, that's Voldemort's dick.
But thank you for that. I'll look out for that when we
Yeah.
get to that episode.
Yeah, because you can't, like, it just flops to the left as he runs, and I'm like... it was...
I'm so glad none of these podcasts will be monetized.
Well, the first time I saw it was when, like, just after I'd seen, like, a Harry Potter film, like, when they were just coming out, and I was just like, didn't need to see that. But it's a very good film. But, the Silence of the Lambs is just the best of the three. It's incredible. I mean, like, even the whole Buffalo Bill thing just is iconic.
Where you get in a basket and grab a hose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the scene. But we'll go get on.
Yeah, we'll cover those.
I think the first two films that we're gonna do a full podcast about is probably going to be Shawshank Redemption.
Yep.
And The Shining, because I haven't seen The Shining, and they're two Stephen King films.
Hang on, you've seen Ready Player One.
I have.
You've seen Ready Player One, but you haven't seen The Shining. Oh my god!
Is it actually The Shining or is it The Shining?
It's The Shining.
It's The Shining.
It says it's The Shining. Although there is actually a sequel to The Shining that's in cinemas now, is it?
Yes, Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
Or it's coming out soon. I think it's Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
He plays the son in the film.
Yeah.
The Shining is a very controversial film though, because how the director made it, you could not make now. Like, he tortured the lead actress in that film.
Yeah, he really did.
There was a scene where he just had her naturally terrified and shot it like 100 and something times just to see her giving up on life, basically, by the end of it.
That's Kubrick, though.
Yeah.
Kubrick, as a director, Kubrick's just...
a vile person. But he makes good stuff.
Yeah.
But Stephen King hated the film. He didn't like
That's
it.
surprising.
Yeah, he didn't like it. He liked it, and he was in It Part 2, I think, as well. He starred in that.
Yeah, he's in it Part 2, and he's also in the new version of It Part 2 as well.
Yeah. He's in both of them.
Because the main character in it is Stephen King.
Yeah.
That's kind of... He put himself into that.
Well, yeah,
into that
the
film.
whole... was it the Dark Tower series they were going to do?
Yeah.
I never got to watch it. It got cancelled. But as a concept, I loved that because it was all the Stephen King... Like, it was all the link of that universe.
Oh, didn't they have a TV show?
Yeah, that was
TV
it.
series in the hospital.
Hospital. I don't know about
Yes.
hospital. I know about Dark Tower.
It was Stephen King. I'm just going to Google it.
Okay.
Let's...
Yeah,
we'll save that,
for another one.
For the Stephen King episode,
Yeah.
which is going to be episode 2.
Mm.
This is the prologue episode.
Yeah,
I
this
guess.
is us basically finding our feet and then going through it and going, wow, we ramble on to different things, which
Yeah.
I'm terrible for.
Well, that's the thing. We'll get more of a focused beam where
Yeah.
we'll kind of find things that we definitely want to talk about.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the TV series.
Yes.
And then we'll go on to
Games.
video games. Now, what we'll probably end up doing is we'll have an episode for films, TV series, and an episode for games.
Yeah.
That kind of come out simultaneously.
Yeah.
So
like
you can tailor your interests if you like.
Yeah.
If you want to listen about the games, you can listen about it. The films.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
So I'm trying to think if you showed. Did you finish The Witcher in the end?
I've never watched it.
Oh my god! I thought you started it.
Nope. Never seen it.
Oh.
Somebody watched it on my Netflix account.
Really?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
someone used to have access to it. But no, I watched the first 4 episodes with a colleague when I was over in Belgium, and then I literally came back and had to finish it. It's just incredible. It's so good.
So I'm gonna go through.
And it links onto games.
Yeah.
Because you've not seen the Hannibal TV series, you said.
I haven't. No.
Oh, it's so good. It's Mads Mikkelsen, Lawrence Fishburne, and I've forgotten the other guys. You've not finished Breaking Bad. I've just remembered.
I've not tried slot.
Oh
so,
my
I'm
god!
I'm gonna bring up.
This is gonna make me so angry.
I'm gonna bring up top TV shows of the last 10 years. Let's say.
Yeah, I think do IMDb like rated.
Last 10 years. Last decade.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it as well, I'm going to make you watch it.
Oh yeah. That's fine. So those who don't know, I love binge watching series. I really do.
Right, so this is the best TV shows of the last decade, ranked for you to argue about.
Brilliant.
By Wired. So let's start at the top. We've got Peaky Blinders.
Yes,
number 40.
I started watching that recently. Actually,
I also started watching it, but I need to continue with
I've
it. I've only seen
seen
like the first 4 or 5 episodes.
I've seen the first 4 seasons that were on Netflix. I haven't seen season 5 yet. Good. Really enjoyed it. I personally think they've kept it going too long.
It's a slow burn.
Well, it's
No, I disagree, actually. I think it's the first few episodes are, but it's very engaging. But when I get to later seasons, I'm kind of seeing a formulaic system to it. And that's an unpopular opinion, but I feel it should have not gone as long as it has.
it's a true story.
Yeah.
So they're going to bring it to a conclusion.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually really like it. I think Tom Hardy smashes it. I'm a big fan of Tom Hardy's films. Those that have seen Legend, he does a very similar. He does that Cockney voice from that he did for
I've never seen
Ronnie. Oh my god, Legend's an incredible film.
We'll get there.
Oh, Tom Hardy playing Tom Hardy.
We may have to have a Tom Hardy weekend.
You
Yeah.
really love both things Tom Hardy, though, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're a big Tom Hardy
he's
fan.
a very good actor. I actually really like the stuff he does.
Sorry. Nobody saw that. I just had a motion that said that Ben has a hard on for Tom Hardy. He has a Tom Hardy on.
Oh, yes. No words now. No, I find his acting. Shut up. I find him quite engaging. And I'm a big fan of the film Legend, so it reminds me of that a lot.
American Horror Story.
I've never seen American
Horror Story.
I'm sorry.
It's so incredibly gripping. There was a dog.
The dog agrees.
The dog agrees. I don't have a dog. I'll note that.
There's
but
not
the
a
dog
single
agrees.
season of American Horror Story that I haven't watched the first few episodes and then immediately binged it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should watch it. I just never. I'm not one for horror films anyway, so I'm kind of put off by that. But I've heard very good things.
You should, and it's not necessarily. The thing is,
Lady
American
Gaga's
Horror
in it, isn't
Story. She's in season 4
4, I believe.
Was like a
onwards.
repeating character or just like a cameo? And they're like,
No,
she's in it.
repeating character.
Okay.
I think it's American Horror Story Hotel, because each of them have a different theme. Like the first season is
there's an asylum one, isn't there?
No, first season is Murder House,
right?
Where a couple move into a house where a murder's happened or somebody's died. The second one is Asylum,
okay,
which is set in kind of the 60s, 70s. Then third season is Coven.
Oh yeah, the
Witches one.
Which is one of my favourite seasons.
Yeah, season 4 is Hotel. Okay. I'm probably getting these out of order.
I think Freak Show is before Hotel.
Freak Show, and then it's 5 is Hotel. 6.
Are any of them repeating characters, or are they all different?
Some of them have repeating characters. Like each of them are different stories, and you kind of assume that each of them's in a different universe. But like the reporter character from season 2 is in like 3 or 5 or something like that.
Okay.
Apparently, they all actually link together as well.
Like Black Mirror.
A little bit, yeah. So it's kind of in the same universe, and you'll get the same actors playing different characters. But it's usually like older versions, so they're in makeup and things like that.
Yeah, I know. I have heard incredible things. I just have never seen it.
I'm starting to think this may be geared towards a different audience to us.
Yeah.
Sense8. Now, Sense8,
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
I've watched the part of it, and it's actually a really good series. Again, it's something that we'll have to watch and discuss fully.
Rick and Morty.
It's Rick and Morty. I think most of the planets watch Rick and Morty at this point.
Yeah.
Everybody's just hungering for
Szechuan. They've got no season out.
Yes,
they did.
I've watched the first. It's on
Channel 4?
4OD, yeah, it's on their website. I watched about 4 or 5 episodes with a friend of mine. Very good.
Very, very good.
Love it.
I know in the Americas it's on Adult Swim.
I think the worst thing about Rick and Morty is the fan base, in all honesty. It's quite toxic, but, like, I'm one of those people I don't get put off because of who likes what. I just enjoy it if it's good.
Master of None, as he's...
I've heard of it, actually. I've heard he's very good in it, but I've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Game of Thrones, okay, so Game of Thrones is... You have to have, like, 2 mentalities of it. You have to have, like, the early seasons and then the last 3 seasons, I'd say. 2, really. Basically, the show should have ended at Battle of the Bastards and I'd been quite happy. So the producers, writers, etc. of Game of Thrones, they got ahead of the books because George R. R. Martin is not exactly the quickest of releasing books. So they did their own content based on guidelines he gave, but then they ignored it. They rushed a season that should have been 3 seasons by their own admittance because they were keen to be part of Star Wars Episode 9, which they then got dropped from anyway. George R. R. Martin has already, in his own cryptic way, said how what they did for Season 8 will be about 4 books longer, and he will probably have a different ending for it because he didn't agree with it.
Yeah, I remember at one point they actually killed off a character, and George R. R. Martin literally called them out saying, "I haven't actually killed them."
I don't know about that one. There's characters they've never had in it. So in the books, there's like a lot of characters that aren't in it. But oh my god, so
we'll get
Chernobyl, yeah. But yeah, no, it's there's a lot of resentment for season 8. The fact that at the panel for San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. For not just the release of season 8 when it had just come out a couple of episodes, but the year after, the most recent one, they were scheduled to be there and then cancelled because they knew what people were going to say about them. And they don't want to answer questions about it. Like, if you mess something up and you make something that's not great, own it. Ryan Reynolds is the example. He knows he was Green Lantern, he knows he was shit in it. It's not his fault, it was a terrible
Which is
film.
why he was happy to be Deadpool, because he could just reference how much
and
he
just kill himself.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing, is it's like in any job. You're never going to do everything perfect. You're never going to be like the model of whatever it is going to be. And if you are, then you're probably not exceeding as much as you should be.
Yeah.
You've got to take leaps. You've got to take risks. But own it when you mess up. You're human.
No, 100%. Chernobyl.
Yeah, so Chernobyl I absolutely loved. It was the best series that came out last year. So those who haven't seen it, it's a 6-episode miniseries done by HBO. It was like their first thing after Game of Thrones. I remember it being advertised during, like, between like parts of their episodes when I was watching it online, and it's basically about what happened, the cover up of it, like the implications and how it all came to be. There's some Hollywood-esque moments on it, like that they invented a character that they mentioned at the end was a representation of all the scientists involved.
Right.
So it was her trying to uncover the truth, and help people out and
That's fair.
putting a finger up to the Russian setup.
Okay.
Because it was the whole, the communists and all that. But it stars, I always forget his name.
Bill Skarsgård?
No.
He is in it.
He is in it, yeah, he's amazing.
He is.
Yeah,
Bill
he's in it.
Skarsgård's in it.
The lead character is played by the guy that was in Resident Evil 2, and he was Moriarty in the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock films.
I can never remember his name.
Yeah,
either.
but he's a phenomenal actor.
He is. He's one of those character actors that you never remember the name of.
It's like Gary Oldman. You always forget it's Gary Oldman until after you see it. Like, oh yeah, it's Gary Oldman. He's in the second one. Well, he was redubbed into the sequel. So in Sherlock 1, the Robert Downey Jr. films, he wasn't Moriarty.
Yeah.
Like they had because it was just the voice of him was briefly shown.
Yeah.
And then in the second one, when they made him the character, they redubbed the release. So in that line, they have him speak rather than the guy that originally did it. Jared Harris. Yes.
Fantastic actor.
He's phenomenal. And yeah, he got loads of awards for his performance in Chernobyl because honestly, it's just incredible. It's quite shocking when you realise how much of it's real. Because you watch it and you're just like, there's no way they did that. There's no way they said that. Oh my god, they actually did.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend it. It's one of those that's... it really makes you think. And realise how messed up it can be.
Yeah. I mean, just like Bunneh, I think we only know of the disaster, not the series.
Yeah.
I think I'd heard of Chernobyl because it was such a big pop culture thing. Not of the disaster, the series.
Yeah.
But
that bomb, wow.
But Bunneh didn't even actually know about
the series
at all.
Yeah, I'd massively recommend it. It's it was on Sky Atlantic over here. I don't know how it's available yet. I don't know if they made it available. I would be shocked if they don't put it on some kind of streaming over here eventually because it's just incredible.
Yeah, it's something that we'll definitely have to watch with Bunneh.
Yeah.
Bring them in on that episode so we'll talk about Chernobyl. Now, I'm just going to... Because I've got a little list of ones that we were going to mention, and I think that one of them that I need to mention is something that I don't think Bunneh's seen at all, or seen a few episodes of it, and that's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Never see it. Oh.
Have you never seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I have seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It was it had how many seasons?
7 seasons, 144 episodes. Not that I'm
I may have watched one season's amount of episodes, all of random picks from different seasons.
You need to watch it all.
So the thing about Buffy, it was one of the ones that I should never have watched as a kid. I really shouldn't have.
No.
But I had them on videotape, it was that old, and I just binged them. I watched them, I loved them, I thought they were amazing. It made the careers of several very good actors.
Yeah.
It was also it predated Xena Warrior Princess, so it is actually the first regular series that had a female lead as a strong role.
Yeah.
It came out before Xena.
It was before Xena, yeah.
It started a
It debuted in 95.
It did also have a film that we don't talk about.
We don't talk about the film. It does mention it briefly in season 3, I think it does.
It mentions it in the first episode.
Oh, yeah. But, it does. But, no, it's very cheesy. It's very 90s. It had a musical episode, for God's sake, but it's very well written. It's very real. The character development when you look across the 7 years, is very strong. So we're going to cut for a second because you're really fucking me off the crumbs. Oh my god!
I'm not even going to cut this.
Ah!
So what you can't see is that Bunneh decided that they were going to eat biscuits, which is why they're being quite quiet. But they dipped it in a tea and then they exploded.
Not a bird before I reached my mouth.
Oh my god!
So not only have they not watched most of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they're also covered in biscuit crumbs, which is just a travesty.
So I didn't watch Angel for years, the spin-off.
Oh god, I love Angel.
So Angel,
Angel.
I
watched the shit out of Angel.
What I loved about Angel and Buffy is they did crossover episodes that worked. So if you watched them in release order, it worked. Angel went on for 1 season longer than Buffy finished. Buffy did do a comic series for season 8, but I never read it.
The comic series went on for quite a long time. In fact, Buffy, I believe, is still actually going on.
Yeah,
in the comics. And it's you remember, I'm not going to say anything just in case people haven't watched it, but you remember what happens to Jonathan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan's in the comics.
Okay.
He doesn't have skin.
What?
No. Oh, you mean Warren? You mean Warren?
Warren. He's also
Yeah.
dating the really airheaded vampire.
Oh, Harmony.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know something incredible about
Oh,
Harmony?
and also she's got a TV show in the.
Oh my god, of course she
as
does.
well.
Yeah, but so the actress that played Harmony
Mhm.
was actually a massive producer and director of the series.
I didn't know that.
She was massively involved in the creation of the show from day one.
Okay.
She then became a regular, even when she wasn't starring it, because Harmony was in season 1 through 3.
Mhm.
Came back briefly for one episode season 4. A bit part for season 4. And then she appeared one episode, about 4 episodes season 5, and then occasionally throughout. But as a producer, she was in it for years.
Yeah.
Mercedes McNabb, I think her name was. But yeah, she was really good. It made Seth Green's career.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He came and left twice because he had to do Austin Powers.
And there was also Robot Chicken, which he then.
That was after
That
this.
was later.
Yeah. That
So
was
he
later,
was in the first. I think he was in the first season of Buffy for a couple of episodes,
Yeah.
and then he was in season 2 and he left. And he came back in season 4. He did a bit in Angel as well, but he had to keep leaving because he was doing Austin Powers and then just never came back. But yeah, it's one of those when you they made the title of the show to be as out there as they could make it. They gave her a weird name, which they made full jokes on. But as a series, it is genuinely amazing because you can see the foundation it's set.
And he takes a very serious turn around season 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Where she kind of gets out of school and suddenly there's just real life that hits her.
Yeah.
And she suddenly very, very doesn't have any sort of support network anymore behind her, and she realises I've got to try and balance this with living real life.
Yeah, I don't know the rules of... I kind of assume, given the show ended in 2002, we're past spoiler warnings, but...
I don't want to... I think we should have we should definitely be having what's the name of the director?
Josh Whedon.
We should have a Josh Whedon episode.
Yeah.
Because I think that... I do... Yes, he did do Avengers, you are right. But I need to bring Bunneh in for this next part because and this is very controversial because a lot of people haven't seen it, but a lot of people have. It only had one season, and I think that it deserved a lot more. It had a very good film as well, and I think they're actually discussing maybe bringing it back.
They've been discussing it for about 6 years.
No, I mean they've really been discussing it recently because they've had it on and off, and that's Firefly.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Swamp Thing, but go on.
No, we're talking about Firefly.
Swamp Thing we don't talk about
because Firefly for me, it hits everything that a series should have so much, and it made Nathan Fillion's career.
It was a very realistic universe.
It was a very realistic universe, and it just it was.
His ship is in Star Wars. They canonised it.
Oh, it's the reason why it's called Firefly is because the ship is a Firefly class ship.
Yeah,
and
they put it in
in
the big scene of episode 9. That his ship is in the background.
Well, it's something like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
And it was in Red Power,
which is another Josh Whedon.
Yeah, that's why. I got on.
Well, he got Nathan Fillion because he was a villain in season 7.
Yes, he was a villain in season 7.
Which people always forget. He was only in 4 or 5 episodes, but he was one of the most iconic villains.
Yeah, and because they made him that way, and then it's just
he did a very good job.
It's such a good. Every single character that's in Firefly represents,
and he was in Rick and Morty.
Represents one of the kind of the main characters that you get in everything, and also the people that you find around yourself in real life as well. Yeah. And they've been given outlandish jobs. They're given it's set in space, it's one of those things. But it's so good and something that you definitely need to watch. And we will have a Joss Whedon episode. Yeah, we definitely will, which we'll pull Bunneh back in for because they need to watch more Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I mean, you need to watch Firefly. I will watch Firefly.
But you haven't seen Firefly.
That's why we're saying it.
Yeah.
You haven't watched Firefly at all.
No, I haven't seen it.
Have you seen the film? You've not seen Serenity?
No, I've not seen Serenity.
Okay, we're going to have a Joss Whedon
episode. I feel like we should stop recording and just force him to watch it. But we'll continue on for now.
Sorry, Silence of the Lambs.
I can't.
If you say that...
I can forgive that for not watching Firefly.
What?
I can. And
you're a geek, Ben, and you haven't watched Firefly.
Yeah, no, I know, but
It's the Mecca. It's the Mecca. It's one of those things. It's like saying that you never watched Star Trek.
Okay,
for me. And
I need to see Picard, actually.
Oh, I need to. That started.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime.
It's 2 episodes in now. They're releasing it weekly.
Oh, is it weekly? Oh, I'll binge it at the end then. It's like Mandalorian. I'm waiting until we just get Disney Plus. I'm just going to binge it in one go.
So no, they'll taper it when we get it then.
Huh?
They'll taper it when we
No. It's like taper and what comes out of time.
Moving on.
Yes.
to another one that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Before we get on to a big one, which Ben is going to rant at me consistently for.
I'm looking at the list. Yes, I am.
Dead Like Me. Now, Bunneh, have you seen Dead Like Me?
I've seen Dead Like Me.
I've not seen Dead Like Me.
Dead Like Me is a series about a girl who starts a temping job, and then she goes out for lunch, and then she gets hit by a toilet seat that falls out of a Russian space station.
What?
She dies.
That's the first episode.
That's the first 5 minutes. This is the first 5 minutes.
It's like boys' level of episode 1.
She dies, and then she gets told that she's now a Grim Reaper.
Right.
And she has to... She's not herself anymore. She exists in the world. The way that everybody sees her is her inner child grown up.
Right.
Is the way that they describe it. And it's basically all about her dealing with the fact that she's dead. She lives in the same city. All of her family don't know who she is.
I was going to say, they don't
all of her family are grieving for her, and she's trying to be there for them, but can't be. It's a dark comedy. Don't get me wrong.
That sounds good.
But
is it on
it's
Netflix?
Really, really good. I think it may be on Prime at the moment.
Okay.
There's a film that's involved as well, which I have not seen the film yet, so it's something that we can enjoy together.
Yeah, I'm up for
But
that.
Dead Like Me, fantastic. Absolutely great. And it's a real kind of look at not only real life, and how life can be so short and to enjoy life, but also kind of how life continues on, how to deal with grief and things like that. Very, very good series. Very, very, very covers it very, very well. That
sounds actually quite interesting. I like the sound of that. But yes.
So the next one is...
Sorry, I just need to take a deep breath and prepare my ranting on this one.
Any of the Marvel TV shows.
Oh, okay, we're going to go on that. Okay, that's fine. I was looking at the one above that.
Oh, no, I'm not. I've seen bits of that, but I've never seen any of the Marvel TV shows. And it's something that it's not only that Ben's going to go at me, I also get an earful about it from my family as well.
Okay, so just to explain how much content there is before I rant about it, because I could make a full podcast on this rant. There are 3 seasons of Daredevil, 2 seasons of Punisher, 3 seasons of Jessica Jones, 2 seasons of Iron Fist, 2 seasons of Luke Cage, and 1 season of The Defenders.
Yeah.
To watch them in order, you have to alternate seasons. To save everyone hours...
Don't bother with Iron Fist.
Daredevil is incredible. It's an actual masterpiece. The casting of Fisk is better than any casting I've seen ever. It's a better it's a better fit than Hugh Jackman is to Wolverine.
Okay.
I will say that and defend it.
I will watch for myself.
Yeah.
I will...
I would watch it again. I've watched Daredevil 3 about 4 times. I'd watch it again.
Okay.
I've watched Daredevil 3 more times than I have Breaking Bad. Punisher, incredible. Really enjoyed it.
I started watching Punisher. I watched the first 2 episodes.
That really gunshot being the first shot is incredible. Punisher Season 2 does get a little bit... It takes a while to resolve, but it's worth it for the quality, and the last episode's amazing.
I've seen a little bit of Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones, okay, Season 1, by my opinion, was only good. I'm going to be hated for this, but it was only good because David Tennant just knocked it out of the park.
I think that's a very wide opinion that a lot of people share with you.
I watched Season 2... It was okay. Season 3 I haven't bothered watching. It's the only season of the whole thing that I haven't watched. The problem was because it got cancelled before it got released. I was like, why am I watching it?
I've heard Season 2 Jessica Jones has really, really bad CGI, CW level kind of...
I don't know about that. There's not much CGI in her.
The people who make all the DC live action.
The Arrow, Flash and all that has a very really low production. Cheap. Well, it's not so much it's cheap, it's they have no time to make it. They literally... I was watching a thing on it recently where they had to do a fight scene.
Basically.
Yeah, they just don't have the time. And the directors aren't designed with a CGI mindset. So they make it, they record it live and just go, make that CGI by next week. It just doesn't work. Iron Fist just sucked.
You told me that Season 2 was good.
I said it was better.
Okay.
Right, the villain of Season 1 is Faramir.
Who? The guy that plays Faramir.
The guy that plays Faramir in Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Is the villain of Season 1. And the casting of just Danny Rand, the terrible tattoo, it's just awful, cheesy, and low quality. Luke Cage,
the best way I could describe Iron Fist when I was watching it, it's this guy is basically Batman, but I don't give a shit about him.
Yeah, it's basically... Okay,
like,
imagine, So when you're describing a character, he's like, right, he's basically Batman, but he's better at martial arts.
Okay.
And he has a magic glowing fist that just can punch for anything. But then you cast someone who has the acting of a wet cloth and the fighting skills of a 3-year-old. He cannot fight. I was watching it through, I binged it, I had it on. I got to episode 9 where there was this big moment where it was like, potentially, his love interest was going to die. And I was like, I don't actually care if she dies. And she's the only one the whole season that can fight. She's the only one with martial arts skills. It just hurt me. Luke Cage, I actually liked. I think it got lost in its own... It's a very difficult thing for me to really comment on. Because I think there's a lot of underrepresentation. However, I think that sometimes it focused too much on saying, look how much representation we're doing, rather than the quality of the writing. And I think that was to the detriment of the actors, because the actors in it were very good.
Okay.
Luke Cage himself, the villain, you had, I always forget his name, Mahershala Ali.
I haven't seen Luke Cage.
He's the villain in it. He's the guy that played Prowler in Spider-Verse. He is also cast as the next Blade.
Is it the guy that's in Elite Battle Angel?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
He's in it, and I think he's in it. Can you double check now, because I'm going to sound like an idiot and we'll be cutting this out if I'm wrong. I'm sure he is.
We're talking about Alita.
Check Luke Cage, because Alita, and just search for it and bring him up. Mahershala Ali. I think he's the villain in it. And if I'm right, I'm going to be very proud of myself. No, know that, but I don't know if he's in Luke Cage. I'm sure he is.
I'm sure he is as well. I thought you played...
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Good. Okay. Oh, thank God. Yeah. You know when you say it and you're like, wait, was I right? So he was in season 1.
Yeah.
Very good actor. The woman, I always forget her name, played his sister. She's in season 1, season 2. Yeah. Very good actor. I feel at times the writing quality wasn't good enough. And it drove the point of it more than the substance. Yeah. Which is an issue Doctor Who's having at the moment, in my opinion. Defenders... Okay, great concept. Not bad writing. The final episode was dog shit.
Fair.
It was very badly written. The music didn't fit. Like, I'm one for if you have a scene, the music can make or break a film.
Yeah.
Or a TV show. And in the final fight, it just drops this weird drum and bass moment, and you're like, wait, what?
And it took me out the episode. It seems to be a modern trend, though.
Yeah, it just didn't fit. It just didn't fit the... I don't get me wrong, like, sometimes, like, Spider-Verse, one of my favourite films, that has music I don't normally listen to.
I love Spider-Verse.
But it's great. It just didn't fit the scene. They were in, like, the basement towards, like, some spiritual place. So I don't want to give spoilers. And it was just the big fight scene with ninjas and Elektra and all this stuff. And I was just like, cool. What the fuck am I listening to? And it really let me down.
Yeah.
And it took me out. It disconnected me. And they didn't renew it. But Daredevil and Punisher were just incredible. There are talks that... Charlie Cox, who plays Matt Murdock, has been approached to appear in the third Spider-Man film for Marvel, but not as Daredevil, as Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
Which I would be fine with. I love that idea of setting it up. But yeah, the casting of Kingpin is by far the best casting I've ever seen in a Marvel film.
So you're very passionate.
Yep.
I'm going to stop you on Marvel because
I'm ranting. Sorry,
you're ranting, and we're going to get a really good Marvel episode, I think. Because I say I need to watch some of this.
Yeah,
I'll actually be able to kind of converse with you about it.
Yeah,
and you can.
We have to watch Daredevil together.
We will. We'll watch Daredevil together. And yeah, we'll be able to go through that. Now, moving on, you mentioned about the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
Now, I started watching a bit of the Arrow and then couldn't continue it. Now, the reason why, for me, was it felt like they were attempting to remake... It felt like Gotham. But Gotham was made in the 90s.
And Gotham was made after Arrow.
Yeah, it feels like if Gotham was made in the 90s.
So Arrow, the first 2 seasons were phenomenal. There's no doubt. And then it just got very repetitive, very... Villains I just didn't care about. Battles I didn't care about. Flash I really enjoyed, and it's got the same way. Legends I watched season 1, and then got bored, and Supergirl and Batwoman I just haven't watched. I watched the crossovers, but I just... The bad CGI, the bad production... I think they're becoming a victim of their own writing quality or lack thereof. The crossovers are worth a watch. I have my issues. I can't really go into it without giving you guys massive spoilers, but the Crisis on Infinite Earths had great cameos, had great potential, had great moments, and that was about it. I was very disappointed by the end of it.
No, that's fair. Now, there's one last one that two last ones that I kind of want to very, very quickly touch on before we move on.
Yep.
I'm going to touch on one that I'm going to throw in as a wild card that you should definitely watch. That we're going to do that we'll probably end up doing an entire episode on because it's a mini series, so it's like 3 films, and that's called The Lost Room. Have you ever watched The Lost Room?
I've not seen it.
Okay, so The Lost Room, the opening scene.
Isn't it Charlie Brooker?
No.
Oh,
that's
this is an American mini series. Is in the opening scene of The Lost Room is a man in a pawn shop.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to somebody about where to find something, a key I think they talk about.
Okay.
You then see the aggressor start clicking a pen, and then the next scene is everybody dead.
Okay.
Now, it's all about a hotel room, and this hotel room, something happened there. Don't know what. Some sort of spatial anomaly.
Yeah.
And everything that's in that room now has a special power.
Okay.
And the...
Like Misfits and stuff like that?
Kind of, yeah. But so it's just this Motel 6 somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Okay. I think the room was actually room 101, just to kind of hammer that home.
Yeah.
And yeah, the main character gets the key. And the key opens any door.
Mm-hmm.
It opens into the hotel.
Okay.
And then when he leaves the hotel, he goes wherever he wants. And it starts from there. And it's such a good miniseries. And it's only three episodes long.
Okay.
So it's something to definitely watch, enjoy, and we'll be able to do it.
Does it resolve, or does it feel like they cut off too early? Because for it to be that short, it's quite interesting.
It really resolves.
Okay.
And it's, when I say it's a miniseries, I mean like, with 3 episodes, I mean like it's an hour to an hour and a half each episode.
Oh, so you're talking like Sherlock levels of
episodes? Yeah. It's
okay.
kind of, when it's a miniseries, it's short. I think it first aired on Sky.
Okay.
I think it was one of the Sky originals.
Like Sky.
When we were actually going through, because I was looking through a list of the best TV shows of the 2000s, and that's in there. And I was surprised to see it in there because it's such a niche thing, but definitely something we need to get to. So the last one to talk about is one that I've only seen 2 seasons of, and that's Breaking Bad, and I've never seen Better Call Saul.
Oh my god!
Now, Bryan Cranston,
yeah,
from the first 2 seasons, is so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
he only gets better,
and I could assume that he does, and it's just such a good series.
So, the thing for me about a TV show,
we could have an entire episode
easily.
of this podcast. An episode of Breaking Bad.
Oh, and we'd still have content.
Yeah.
It's incredible. The thing for me about a TV show is it has to end as well as it has gone. Mm-hmm. Like letting it go on too many extra seasons cheapens it. It causes issues. I think sometimes some shows get cut too early. Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Lucifer are really good examples of that, and then they came back. But Breaking Bad just ended at the right time. Some people do say it maybe went on for season too long. But Bryan Cranston was just incredible. Aaron Paul, spot on. Every actor delivered. The only person I didn't really like in it was Skylar, but I get why she was how she was.
Yeah.
As the later seasons go on, she develops in such a way that I'm like, oh, God, she's pissing me off. But I get the logic behind it.
Yeah, why she is the way she is.
Yeah. But, so a character you'd never have seen, and I won't give too many spoilers, is Gustavo Fring. Okay. Who is So he was auditioned they auditioned an actor that no one had ever heard of, had been in very bit parts, but was sick of being bit parts. So when he auditioned, they said, okay, you're basically going to be in one episode as it's Walter's meeting someone, and he thinks it's you, and it's not, and he realises he's been a bit of an idiot and leaves. He's like, okay. Does the audition, but stylises it in a way that he's clearly the character is hiding something. So he says the lines as they ask, but he overacts it to go, there's something else. Maybe it is that guy, maybe it isn't. And it really annoys the casting team. And they literally, and it's all documented online. They go, okay, I now need to know what he's saying. So they approached him and said, so he did the episode and he left. And then they approached him again because people were just like, we need to see more of this character. And they said, we'd like to offer you 3 episodes. And he went, no. He said no to them. And they went, how much do you want? And he went, no. And they went, okay, we'll offer you 5 episodes. No. How much do you want to get paid? No. And then they came back and went, what do you want? He went, I want to be a recurring character for an entire season minimum. And they came back a week later and went, okay, yeah, sure, sign here.
Nice.
Just
nice.
on the merit of that. And he became the most iconic villain, in my opinion, of the past decade.
Okay.
He's that good.
Behind that.
He's really good.
He's phenomenal. And then he's in Better Call Saul, because Better Call Saul was a prequel season, or prequel series, which does flash forward as well. But it's they're about to release season 5 this month. And I think they've said they're doing either just this season or one more after that, and that's going to be it, because they're kind of rounding everything off. And Bob Odenkirk that plays Saul is just incredible. Literally for the first episode he's in Breaking Bad, I think it's in season 2, you're just like, this guy's incredible. He just hits with this energy that just delivers.
Yeah.
And yeah, Breaking Bad, I just think the reason it's up there is because it just, every season has its own stance, its own uniqueness, where it delivers, and it ends in the right way. El Camino was a nice epilogue of a movie / extended episode.
The Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they dropped that as like a kind of a like final episode, they called it, or movie.
It wrapped up.
It did.
Loose ends.
Yeah, it tied up the loose ends. It delivered what the fans needed. It was quite sad that one of the actors that was in season 5 briefly and was in El Camino passed away before El Camino aired. Oh, it was like the day after or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he died. The guy that played I've forgotten his name, but the vacuum guy. He died.
The vacuum guy. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he died like the day after or something stupid like that.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was really sad, but
Sorry.
he was a really good actor, but he had a very big part as well. But yeah, Breaking Bad, I didn't watch it until I think after it finished. Like it was back when I worked in the bank, and my colleagues were like, "How have you not seen it? This would be your show." It was before Better Call Saul came out, and I went, "Oh, I'll give it a watch." Suddenly, I'd gone through about 3 seasons without realising it. I was just binging it.
I'll have to give it a go.
Yeah.
I will definitely try and finish it. Now, we've gone through TV series now.
Yep.
So moving on from, we've done movies, which is what we're going to talk about.
And I've been the anger.
It's again movies that we've never seen, or I think something that we're really going to do with this is more, not necessarily something that we've never seen, because we may have seen something, but something that somebody else might have never seen as well, that we can recommend to them.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to get a lot out of that. We've done TV shows now.
Yep.
Or a few TV shows. There's a lot more to go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't watch TV. Now we're on to video games, which is kind of my section of this, because
Ben's looking very sheepish in the corner now.
Ben has...
I'm a failed gamer, apparently.
I think what you actually said whilst we paused the recording was that you're a fake gamer girl.
Basically, so I played games. I didn't get to play as many games as I wanted to as a kid, but the games I played, I lived on.
I know, but you're not a kid anymore.
No, I know, but even now, like, I stick to the games that I like. Equally, I want to avoid getting too dragged into stuff. Like, so there's a couple of the early ones as well, but just be like, I just never got into them because I knew I'd be on them for weeks on it. Like, even now, a game that I play at the moment, I'm just like, blink and 3 hours have gone by. It's, oh dear.
So use that Road Terror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
The thing
so
is,
good.
Card games for you is a very, very big thing.
It's been a big part of my life for 20 years.
As soon as you start playing a card game and you like it, that's when you lose everything.
Yeah. If I'm anything other than meh, like if anything higher than that, I get hooked.
Now, I've got a little list of games that I know you've never played, or you played a little bit of, that we're... Now, the one at the top of this list is Minecraft.
Yeah.
You've never played Minecraft.
So I went to... I'm trying to think where it was I played. I think it was like a Best Buy or something like that. And they had a demo of it when it first came out. So I tried it out. And I remember, like, it just come out and everyone was hyping it. And I was like, I'll give it a go. And I stood there for about 5 minutes. I was like, so I break blocks to make other blocks. And I didn't see the point of it.
That's the game.
Yeah, and I got bored.
So, the first time I ever played Minecraft was in 2008? 2009? I was still in university, so it would be 2008, around then. It was the alpha build.
Yeah.
Back then... Notch was still kind of in charge of everything, who was the guy that is credited as creating it, or Hatsune Miku.
Oh yeah, it was a very early version I played.
Because Notch didn't make Minecraft, Hatsune Miku did. We decided this a long time ago.
Okay.
Now, back then, water physics didn't exist. So if you got a bucket of water and you put it down, it would then spread that water from where you had across the entire map in one flat thing, which was the whole joke that Notch doesn't know how water works.
Right.
Now, the whole point about Minecraft is it's just lethargic. Is that the word?
Okay, yeah, like...
cathartic is what I'm thinking, sorry.
Lethargic's a bit different.
Yeah, lethargic is very different. It's cathartic, because it's just literally breaking blocks, picking them up, putting them somewhere else. But it's the point of spending so many hours in a procedurally generated world where you get to go into caves and you get to see what kind of thing has been made because of it. There is actually now a full story to go through in Minecraft as well.
Okay. It's just, I don't know, it just never really... Like, I tried it and I was very... what's the point? Like, I, as a kid, or for the first, like, I'd say 18 years, maybe 20 years of my life, like, I always played single player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never played online. I didn't really socialise that much. So for me, it was what's got a good single player experience.
Yeah.
So, like, when I tried it, I was like, I could see the concept from, like, I'm a big fan of Rooster Teeth as a good example, and I see, like, the stuff they do as a group of 6, 7 people, and I get it. But for me, it's like, well, it's not the same.
Well, you don't have to just play it as single player. It is a multiplayer game.
No, I know, but yeah. But that was my intro to it.
Yeah, of course. Now, moving on, we've got World of Warcraft.
Yep.
By extension, we also have Warcraft 3.
So, when you wrote this on the list, I held back from a question because I knew it would anger the two people sat either side of me. So, I didn't know that there was things other than World of Warcraft. I assumed they were expansions.
So, what? The Warcraft...
I thought they were just expansion packs or something.
No.
Like Warcraft 3. I thought it was just an expansion pack for World of Warcraft.
So, Warcraft 3 came first.
I'm sorry, everyone listening.
Yeah, there was Warcraft, Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3. And Warcraft was on MS-DOS.
Right.
So this is how far back we're going. So Warcraft is an RTS game.
Yep.
So it's real-time strategy, and this is where all the lore and all the story came from to be able to start World of Warcraft. Now, World of Warcraft's been going since 2004.
Yes.
And you have a lot of friends who play World of Warcraft.
I have a lot of friends that play it.
And you've never thought about picking it up?
No. My experiences of World of Warcraft in chronological order are Leroy Jenkins and the South Park episode.
I think that's what everybody knows of it, to be honest.
I've got to say,
that's all I know.
I avoided like the plague since its inception up to about 3 years ago when I met Mary, and they bought me a subscription just so I would play it with them, and then I got hooked.
Yeah, it is a very, very addictive game.
That's why I avoided it for so many years. I knew I'd be dragged into it.
I suppose my thought would be as well is, like, if you're doing something like that, I don't know, I could be completely wrong here, but if you've played it for, say, 16 years or however long, and then you have someone that played for a month, surely the level gap is just impossible to ever catch up on.
Did you just realise how long you've been playing?
I just realised how old I am. Jeez Louise.
Sorry. Oh. But yeah, like, that. So, like, say for example, I joined on, I played for a week, and you played for an amount of time. Surely the level gap is just insane.
Well, no, because I can start a new character. They've also now introduced something where you can join a party with somebody and then sync to their level so you can play with them.
Okay.
No, it's always been a thing where, because you can have up to 50 characters on World of Warcraft. And yeah, it's literally you just start playing, and you can play it as a single player game if you really wanted to. And the only thing that you kind of need other people for is for when you go into like dungeons and things like that. But that's always
I always hear my friends doing raids and stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the big things is being able to get kind of a group of people together and actually kind of play together as well.
Yeah,
and that's a big point.
And like people proper sync. Like they're like, I remember like I was talking to someone, I was like, oh, we'll go out for a big meal. Oh, what time? Oh, this time. Oh, I've got a raid on. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
If it's set up for a specific time, that's when you go.
Yeah, but no other game has like that level of. Like, do you know what I mean? It's I'll go on
over somebody's life.
Basically, requires about 20 people.
25.
Yeah,
25 people all syncing up.
It used to require 40 people. Raids were 40 people, and they were near impossible. And the thing is, the game, everybody was just like, oh, the game was so much better back then, it was so much harder back then. And they brought back World of Warcraft Classic, so people could play the vanilla version stuff, and it was beat so incredibly quickly. And it's because it's like, no, the game wasn't hard back then, we were just bad. We were just bad at it.
Yeah.
And they brought back Warcraft Classic because everybody was just like, oh yeah, you know, I want to play vanilla again. I want to have this experience. It's just like
they were doing that.
Unpopular opinion. Vanilla's bad. Like the first Warcraft was bad, and you know when you get 16 years of development on a game, that means you polish the game.
Well, you can say that now. Like, you look at, like, Pokemon as a good example.
Yeah.
Like, Gen 1 will always be the gen that started it all, and without it, we wouldn't have what we do now, and the titan that the industry is of it, or the genre is. But Gen 1 as a game is shit.
Oh, it's terrible.
Like, it's badly coded, it's glitched to hell, it bugs out, there's a lot of coding errors on it.
I'm thinking.
It's terrible, but it's an iconic game, and without it, we wouldn't have the rest.
Definitely.
And if it came out now, it fell. Dismally.
Just because somebody started a genre doesn't mean it was perfect.
Yeah.
But that's
nor should it be.
Everybody always has nostalgia glasses when it comes to video games.
Yeah.
And it's one of those big things. Like I love games.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of kind of old games that I know. If I went and tried to replay them, I would hate it.
Yeah.
I'd hate every second of it. If I tried to bust out, I don't know, my Atari or my Commodore 64, I'd sit there playing Adventure, and I'd just be like, wow, I'm a tiny yellow square, and I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't be able to understand it.
I think, let's be honest, people only play Adventure now for the Easter egg. They don't actually play for the game.
This is true. It was the first ever Easter egg.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I think, because we're getting a retro revival where people are taking the old style that we had of games and then just applying
consoles, they're making all mini versions of them.
And they're just applying like modern video game conventions to an old style of game. That's where you get games like Undertale.
Yeah.
And Undertale, which I know you've never played, is
frothing at the mouth at that.
By all rights, it shouldn't be a good game, but it is. Because it's taking modern gameplay narrative, and taking something that is considered a retro theme, and then just running with it.
Yeah,
and it helps it's Toby Fox, because Toby Fox is just a masterpiece at story.
Yeah,
at music, and the music in that game is just so.
Oh yeah, no, I like
the art for Undertale will be Temmie though.
Yes, it's Temmie for art. Not for all of the art.
But like Megalovania, anyone who's experienced games knows Megalovania.
Yeah, and Toby Fox has actually written that Megalovania into every single one of his games as well, in one way or another, that Megalovania is in it. Works. So, next on this list.
Yep. I'm going to be in so much trouble for this.
You're finally awake. Got caught trying to cross the border, just like that thief over there. You never played Skyrim?
No. I have never played Skyrim.
You're not Todd Howard's bitch?
I'm not, no.
For a game that's been released about 17 times now.
I know.
You've never played Skyrim?
And the thing, and do you know what makes it worse? I've got friends from like when I've worked in other industries, so this is easy, because now I work in the gaming industry, I just know people that do gaming. Whereas in the past, like, I didn't. Like, people just, it was more popular. Like, I worked in banking, so people worked in banking mentalities. And I remember someone going, I'm into computer games. Oh, what do you play? And like they're like, I only play Skyrim, but nothing else. And I love it. And I'm just so going, in my head, I'm like, I've never played it.
Really need to play Skyrim.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to describe why Skyrim is so good. And you basically get an opening story. It's a dragon attacks you.
Just open world.
And then you get put outside there, and it just goes, go on. Do whatever the fuck you want. And here is an expansive world that if you try to traverse it by foot, it will take you days. And it's just so much choice. The game is beautiful. The enhanced versions are brilliant. The modding community had a field day with it as well. So you can have that game do whatever you want it to do.
Yeah.
If you want all the dragons to be Thomas the Tank Engine, you can do that.
I have seen
Randy
a lot
Savage
of stuff.
Dragons.
Randy Savage dragons.
Oh yeah. But no, I've seen like all that, and to be fair, it's not that I am unaware of the game or anything like that. I do get it. I know about it. I've just never invested the time, because with a game like that, I would want to sit like to be honest, if I played it, I'd end up taking a week off work and just playing it and doing nothing else for a week.
Now, I'm just going to bring up my playtime in Skyrim.
Oh dear God!
And it's not as bad as you think. Not the special edition, because I only started playing that again recently. But the last time that I played
that's not as
Skyrim
bad as I expected.
215 hours of gameplay.
That's not as bad as I expected.
I'm
at about half that on Pokemon Sword and Shield already.
On PC.
Oof.
And Bunneh's got... How long's that been?
343 hours.
Yeah, so...
And that was last played in 2018.
I literally have friends that have over 1,000 hours in Skyrim. And if we take the same company, Bethesda, and we checked out, say, Fallout 4, where I've got 531 hours, is exactly the same.
Whereas I had about 3.
Yeah, you just plopped in a world. And one of the ones that I actually wanted to talk about is you never played New Vegas.
No.
Now, New Vegas...
Just a quick point on Fallout 4. Okay, something annoyed me about Fallout 4.
Go on.
So, Fallout 4, you spend all that time designing your character's look for no real reason.
Well, you can, because you scroll out.
And also there's cutscenes where you're put into it.
Yeah.
I suppose. You design both the characters, and spoiler alert, one of them dies very quickly.
Well, you don't design both of them.
You can design both of them, though.
Yeah, but that's just you deciding whether you're going to be...
But the thing is they don't tell you that, because the twist is that one dies and you don't know about that. So you could spend hours designing both of them only for one of them to die.
But doesn't that mean that... Because you know that it's your spouse as well. Doesn't that necessarily mean that if you spent your hours doing that, you feel more of a loss?
True.
And there is also... Because it just... Without major spoilers, because it's right at the start of the game, it's the setup for the plot.
Yeah.
You go into the vault.
Yeah.
You get frozen. You wake up briefly... You get frozen. You watch your spouse get killed and your child being kidnapped. You get frozen again. You wake up again. Everybody's dead. You're the sole survivor. That's the name of your character. Basically. Your genetics that you have for both
it passes on to the child.
Passes on to the child. Not necessarily completely, because it still has a facial skeleton, because they can't randomise it that much. But it will do things like race, hair colour, things like that. And that's kind of what you'll find there. So, yeah.
And I remember Googling what happened to the child and finding that out. Yeah. So, we're avoiding spoilers.
I haven't reached the end of Fallout 4.
Wow.
And okay.
I've played it to hell, but...
You did the story stuff.
No, it's because you didn't want to make the decision, because there is a decision you have to make where you pick a faction, and that's your faction.
Yeah.
And the rest basically get annihilated.
Yeah, so it's one that you pick it, and then that's the last faction in the game kind of thing. So you don't want to... I can understand getting to a point and then not wanting to play anymore. And it does have some great DLCs, but for Fallout New Vegas, which is what I'm going to talk about now, Fallout New Vegas has arguably some of the best DLCs that I've ever played.
Really?
Yeah. So Fallout New Vegas is like Fallout 4 on crack. Because it has so many kind of... You just get your special perks. Like you just get those, and you get like 10 points in each of them, and you get some perks and stuff for Fallout 4. In Fallout New Vegas, because it was made by Obsidian, who made the original Fallout games, every single stat is a percentage base, and every single stat includes things like lockpicking, small handguns, large guns, etc., speechcraft, medical, science.
It's a lot more nuanced.
It's a lot more nuanced, and you get a lot more of character development throughout Fallout New Vegas, and it just kind of gets ridiculous. So for DLC,
I suppose
one of my favourite games.
If I look objectively, I'd probably say I generally play the more linear storyline based games. Like the ones that are very open world, do what you want to do. I've not really taken on. I don't know what this is about me as a person,
we'll
but
find you a nice EA game then.
I liked Fallen Order.
So, talking about linear stories then.
Yep.
You've never played Half-Life?
No, I'm waiting for the third one. Sorry, I had to get that out there.
So, there's Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and Half-Life 2 Episode 2.
Yep.
There's also the original Half-Life games, which didn't really stand up to the test of time when it came graphically, but at the time it was so good. And
it came out like early 2000s?
Nice.
Yeah, 90s.
Really? Jesus.
Yeah, Half-Life 1 was 90s. I believe, or it was early 2000s, because Half-Life 2 came out in 2004, same year as World of Warcraft. I remember that much.
Oh wow!
And that's also when the first Portal came out in the orange box, shortly after with Team Fortress 2.
Yeah,
which is another game that you haven't played. But yeah,
I played Portal. I played Portal 1.
You played Portal 1.
I didn't complete it, but I played it for a little bit.
And it's such an iconic game when it comes to just first-person shooters and story-based first-person shooters. It set the bar. And if you really want to go back and play that, and you will just see all the little nuances that you find in all the newer games as well that come up.
That's one thing I do like. It's the same with films, TV, and just any kind of media, is seeing the influence the key ones have on the future, for good or bad.
Yeah.
Because it's like with anything, you get bad habits, I suppose, but like when it works and it sets the trend. Like for me, one of the big ones is The Matrix. That set the spar for future sci-fi films.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
I can see that.
And that's the thing for me. I mean, with gaming, it's very interesting because I remember seeing a thing recently. It was like you have your competitive games, you have your open world games, you have your driving games, then you have your Nintendo. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, there's
like
Nintendo.
Kind of...
Nintendo's usually more family friendly. It didn't always used to be that way. But,
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Now, the last one that I really I'm just struggling to get this out.
It's okay.
You've never...
Nope. I'm in so much trouble for this bit.
You've never played a Final Fantasy game?
No.
None of them?
No, I've never played a single Final Fantasy game, and I can tell you the reason why, and it's not going to help this plaster ripping in any way. So, I was a kid. I would say I was about 10 or 11. So, the year would have been, about 2000, 2001. And I was at a friend's house, and he was playing, I want to say, 10 or X2 around that year. It was around that time. I think it was 10. It may have been 7, to be fair. And he was like, "Oh, you play Final Fantasy?"
They're very different games.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I remember knowing they were playing it. And
yeah.
And it was on PlayStation. I had a PS2, so I thought about it. But the problem I had was, and the reason I gave was, well, I've played none of the others. So why would I play a future one? And I had the exact same reason for Kingdom Hearts as well.
So there's... Well, Kingdom Hearts, because Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3 actually do follow on from each other.
And there's like 16 of them.
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, there's like loads in between.
There's only like one in between each two of them.
There's all the remastered reload and all that.
Yeah. And like 1.5 is literally just...
Yeah. I played a little bit of Final Fantasy X.
Okay.
Because I've got the 10X2.
Yeah, okay. I remember getting that one.
But I never just got engrossed in it because, that was my reason as a kid. And, yeah. I'm sorry.
So, Final Fantasy is one of the best RPG series of all time.
I've heard.
Every single game is... Well, almost every single game is a masterpiece. I know people that would argue with me quite severely. As Liam, I do actually have an hour-long podcast where we talked about Final Fantasy with me and Cypher TH, who runs a shop called Retro Play, which I'm a co-owner of. And just... You need to play them. I mean, it got to the point... Right. Here's an example of how passionate I am about Final Fantasy games. Now, I have been married and divorced.
Yeah.
And the divorce may have something to do with what I'm about to say. Probably not, though. Before we got married, I forced my now ex-wife to complete a Final Fantasy game because that was one of the conditions of getting married.
Did you force them to do a 100% run?
No, I just play it through, just so that they could experience it. And to their credit, they did pick one up, but unfortunately it was Final Fantasy 13, which is also known as Final Fantasy Corridor.
Right.
Because it's so incredibly linear.
I never hear about 13.
Well, that's the thing. 13 was one of the most popular ones in Japan. So when 13 came out, that's why it's got 13, 13-2, 13 Lightning Returns.
Right.
And because the Japanese liked the main character so much that it just became one of the kind of the big advertising things. Like that main character was used to advertise perfumes, watches, like anything you can think of. It was used to advertise.
I mean, we've got Goku doing the Olympics, so I can't say too much.
Well, yeah, that's anime. That's a bit different, though, isn't it?
But like, so I know about like Cloud. I know about the characters in 10. Oh, the only ones I ever hear about are 7, 10, and 14.
Which is the online one.
Yeah.
14 and 15, of course.
Yeah. But now, everyone plays those.
So,
apart from me.
I think that if you're going to do it, to understand the...
Well, 7 Remaster's coming out, so part of me was thinking of playing that.
Final Fantasy 7 Remaster.
Yeah.
You'd probably get a better experience because the game did not stand the test of time at all. Now, Final Fantasy 6 is one of the best stories of all time. If you're getting into... It was one of the first kind of games to use the Mode 7 chip, which on the SNES, which was the first attempt at making 3D. Okay. Because what the Mode 7 chip could do on the SNES was it could stretch and resize images. So what that meant is that they could have the world map underneath the character, so the character could fly around. You'd have the sprite of an airship flying around and be able to stretch it. So that was kind of the start of trying to get into 3D. So it's a very, very good ease into it. Final Fantasy 4 is a very good Final Fantasy. And there is also a sequel to that game as well. But if you're going to start it, Final Fantasy 6 is definitely one to start with. Final Fantasy 8 is one of my favourite Final Fantasies, but it is not an easy play at all. It was not designed very well. Then Final Fantasy 9 is very good too. But yeah, and Final Fantasy 10 is also kind of one of the... I would say Final Fantasy 10 is one of the ones that people know had the first experience with Final Fantasy. It was the first one where it was realistic looking humans. Yeah. So people were jumping on that just so that they could take... Because Final Fantasy 8 attempted it, but they were also attempting it with the PlayStation 1 engine. Oh, God. Which is why you get the whole kind of messed up face, you're the best looking person at the party meme. Yeah. Sorry, Bunneh was pulling faces. It was fantastic. But that's just been remastered as well. So if you just want to try it.
I liked... this is probably an insult to anyone that's ever played Final Fantasy, but I adored the recent Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
So playing that, I sat there for 3-4 days, just doing nothing but playing it to 100%ed it. Yeah. So I loved the story, I found it engaging, it controlled well. Phenomenal game. So based on that, like that kind of style, that kind of story progression, it is and it isn't, because it's open world, but it says you've got to go here to do X.
Sometimes you have to kind of figure out where it is that you're going with some of the games. Yeah. And at some point there is always kind of an airship, there's always a world map, and you have to figure out where you're going,
and a skill tree.
And a skill tree with most games as well. Yeah. Which is why something like Final Fantasy 15 would probably really kind of pique your interest, because although it is very open world, it's mission based. So you get a job, you can go do it, and it's very, very weird because you're kind of the prince, and you're on your way to see your wife, so that two places can unite, which is why they're all in a car. They're going on a road trip to do that. It's almost like a stag do, but it's set in Final Fantasy, that kind of thing. Okay. But everything kind of goes to shit halfway through. Yeah. Like the world goes to shit while you're going, and that's where the big conflict comes from. But the prince has to do extremely kind of menial tasks as well. Okay. So like you'll get to a petrol station, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you don't have any money on you, so to get petrol, I need you to go and kill like 3 dogs." Right. Like that kind of thing. But you always have a main storyline.
X to do Y, basically.
Yeah. Final Fantasy X is very good for a linear storyline. In extension of that, Final Fantasy X-2 is arguably a good game. I enjoy it, but it feels like Final Fantasy X, but with dress up. Right. Because Final Fantasy X has a skill tree where you fill in spheres. Yeah. And each sphere boosts a stat, gives you access to a new ability. Yeah. In Final Fantasy X-2, they have dress spheres.
I beg your pardon?
Dress spheres. Okay. So the idea is that there's... each of these spheres hold the memories of a person, of all their skills and everything. So like you'll get one that's Gunner.
So it's like the Avatar.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
It's like walking a man in somebody else's shoes.
That kind of thing. But it's like, this is the sphere of somebody that was a black mage. So now I'm dressed up like a black mage and I can use spells. This is one that was a gunner, so now for some reason I'm really skimpy and I've got 2 guns. thief, that kind of thing, and you could switch in between battles. Now, another reason why you'd enjoy, and I'm going to get flack for this, another reason why you'd enjoy Final Fantasy is because you enjoy Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it's a very similar battle style.
Yes,
always.
turn-based
In most of them. There's some that aren't turn-based, like Final Fantasy 13, which is auto battling. But I think that there's just going to have to be one very long episode where I pick out a couple of Final Fantasy games. You try playing at least an hour to an hour and a half of each one, and we can just talk about it. I think that's where we're going to go. So for our gaming section, we already kind of know exactly what it is that we're going to be doing for television. Let's bring this all into a conclusion.
Yeah.
So we know that for films, we have a lot for me to watch.
Oh dear God, yes.
I think we've got a Stephen King episode coming.
Yeah, we'll have to plan out about 5-6 episodes of themes.
Yeah. We'll then have a few episodes for TV series. Like at the moment we have definitely all the Marvel TV series. We've got a Joss Whedon episode.
Yeah.
We'll have a few kind of outliers like Dead Like Me and The Lost Room. We have a DC episode. We have got a lot to do with TV series as well.
Yeah. Well, these episodes you can tie in Lucifer as well.
Now, for video games, it looks like we're going to have a Final Fantasy episode, most definitely. We're going to have a Bethesda episode.
Yep.
We're going to have a Valve episode.
Okay.
So you can finally play Portal 2, which is, in my opinion, one of the best games ever made.
Isn't it basically Portal 1 but with different missions?
Oh, God, no. It's so different.
Okay.
It's really good. And then we're going to have probably something to do with kind of multiplayer games online. Yeah. World of Warcraft, well, you can give it a go because it's free up to level 20.
Yep.
It looks like we've got a long way ahead of us.
Yeah.
We've got a lot that we can talk about.
I'm very bad for just going off on tangents as well, so apologies for that. But
all very entertaining, don't worry about it.
And I'm quite opinionated as well. Like, when I know about something, I do like to know a lot about it, and I have been quite opinionated, so I apologise for anyone offended or disagree with me. I mean, you're wrong, but, I'm sorry you feel that way.
So, we've got a lot of episodes coming. Well, you'll be listening to this podcast wherever we put it, which at the moment we're going to be attempting to get it on YouTube at the start, probably Spotify, a few other places, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you maybe heard something that we spoke about in here, or something that you know, you want us to talk about, definitely you can message us, you can email us, you can email it into, I haven't got an email address yet, but I'll think of one.
Cool. It'll be up on the screen.
It'll be in the description.
In the description, or up on the screen now.
Right now, there's a little graphic that's just appeared.
Yeah. It's got Ben holding it on screen. If the screen's on. Now, if you're listening to this on anything that's just audio based, it will be in the description. So definitely let us know if there's anything that you can think of that you want us to talk about. Thank you very much for listening to the inaugural podcast of the I've Never podcast.
There will be structure in the future, I promise.
There will be more structure in the future, most definitely.
You're promising a lot.
Yeah, I'm just basically just going to gag the second I start changing topic.
We'll get you a shot collar.
Tea. Time for tea.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Time for tea. Thanks for tuning in.
See you
all. If you've lasted this long, you're amazing.